Last night we saw something so freaking stupid that I needed an entire night to digest how stupid it was so I could bring you the analysis of how dumb this actually was. He blames his teammate for this entire situation. Look at what Eric Kendricks does. He literally swipes the ball, hits it behind Chase Claypool's back, and this milks literally 15 seconds worth of clock, which is enough for another play to go down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This head coach completely changed the narrative surrounding him after properly handling an absolutely bizarre situation. And honestly, I didn't expect him to say what he said. But before we get to that, we're giving away $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. And we're giving away another $500 to an Instagram follower once we hit 50,000 followers. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! We all know the number one thing I'm the most incredible at, and it's not making analysis videos or news videos, it's making my weekly NFL picks. I'm gonna be making this week's picks on my favorite platform to make picks on, and that's Bounty Sport. Because on Bounty Sports, when you use my promo code Mikerophone, you can literally enter this contest for free, and I'm all for entering free contests so I could potentially win $1,400 in total prizes. And we all know how good I am at doing this, so let's get this party started. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. We got the Panthers and the Bills. Come on, bro. There's no way the Bills are gonna lose this one. We got the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. Zach Wilson doesn't look so good in New York, man. Let's go with the Dolphins. We got the Cardinals and the Lions. If I miss this one, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm literally gonna die if I miss Cardinals and the Lions. We got the Jaguars versus the Texans. I don't care if the Texans are ranked lower. The Jags are so incompetent, and it's not even their fault. We made so many videos on Urban that we got the Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Washington football team's really injured currently. We got the Cowboys versus the Giants. It would stink if my Dallas Cowboys lost this. The Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. Ooh, this is a tough one. I like Joey B and the gang. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Let's go with the 49ers here. The Packers versus the Ravens. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to play, but I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers. We got the Seahawks versus the Rams. Let's go with the LA Rams. And finally, the Buccaneers versus the Saints. That's an easy one, man. I'm sure I got all of them this week, man. There's not too many crazy picks here. I don't think there's not really any upsets. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about my picks. And remember, when you use my promo code Mikerophone, you pretty much get to enter this contest for free because they give you a free $5 deposit. And thank you, Bounty Sports, for the sponsor. Mike check 1212. What's going on, everybody? I feel like oftentimes we neglect the importance of having a very competent head coach. And it doesn't matter if your team is filled with talent or completely devoid of talent, because an incompetent head coach can completely ruin your team. Just look at Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. They drafted the #1 overall pick in Trevor Lawrence, one of the most transcendent talents we've ever seen since the days of Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and John Elway. And as a result of just getting him the wrong head coach, who was more fixated on grinding random women that are half his age that aren't his wife in bars in Columbus, Ohio, who also has no idea what's going on in his entire roster, who benched his best player for absolutely no reason 2 weeks ago, who had Trevor Lawrence come out and throw 4 interceptions and got his defense crushed against a Tennessee Titans team that didn't have Derrick Henry and most of their best players. And then you compare coaches like Urban Meyer to Dan Campbell, who is kind of the opposite if you ask me. I think Dan Campbell's a good coach that doesn't necessarily have the most talented roster, but he's able to get the best out of his players each and every week. Meanwhile, Urban Meyer is getting called out by his quarterback, and we made a separate video on that, but it just goes to show that coaching and getting the most out of your players is a very difficult skill to have, and it has a lot to do with patience, and that's what Mike Tomlin showed us this past week. Now, if you don't know what happened about a week ago, Chase Claypool got easily manipulated during a very pivotal game against the Minnesota Vikings, where on a 4th down play, Ben Roethlisberger found Chase Claypool for a first down. Chase Claypool opted to celebrate the first down instead of hurrying back to the line of scrimmage. That ended up resulting in Eric Kendricks knocking the ball away, and a bunch of clock got eaten up as a a result of it, and Chase Claypool was under fire because his immaturity resulted in the Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, for all you know, they may have lost anyways, but still, this is a consistent theme in Chase Claypool's career. This is a guy that is very big on TikTok dances and trying his best to become a social media influencer. And I guess this isn't even a good look either, because earlier this year, Chase Claypool asked if they could have music at practices.
Yeah, Chase, one of the guys, well, Mike Tomlin has said this, I think, pretty much all along. I know that TJ and Cam yesterday after the game talked about, practices need to be better. And I understand at the pro level, there's only so much intensity that you guys can compete with at this time of year. But what can you guys do at practice, and what needs to get better at practice in order for the team to improve?
Yeah, I think, this is something I've said since I was in college, because we never had it. But I think maybe some music would help. But we have music in the warm-ups, and that's always fun. People are dancing and having fun. So I think maybe music would make practice a little more fun and a little more up-tempo. That's my one suggestion. But Coach T's been doing this a lot longer than I have,
So I suppose the conjunction of all these is just not a good look, especially if you're Chase Claypool. But the worst part of all this is Claypool didn't really hold himself accountable for his mistake. He kind of threw his own teammates under the bus.
Chase, why celebrate the first down there late? It obviously cost your team a few seconds.
Yeah, definitely got to be better. I got tackled near the hash, did my little first down point, and went to hand the ball to the ref. He had just got there.
Right.
So even if I got right up and looked for him, he just wasn't there. So he ran down the field to come get the ball, and the ball got knocked out of my hands. That's what cost us time. But I definitely do have to be better. I knew the situation. I know I'm near the hash. I know the ball's placed on the hash. But I got to be better, and the ball shouldn't get knocked out of my hands. Should be
And well, that resulted in me just wondering what the hell was his head coach thinking about this entire situation. And to be honest, I was shocked at what Mike Tomlin had to say. According to Brooke Pryor, this is Mike Tomlin's entire reaction. We don't wait for stuff like that to happen to address it. That's built in our 2-minute teachings at team development. And obviously, he had a misstep in that area. He had missteps in other areas. He's a young guy who is growing and developing in a lot of ways that can't happen fast enough for him, and it can't happen fast enough for us. We're going to continue to push that growth and development as long as he's a willing participant. He has been, and so we're just going to keep moving forward. That can be said about a lot of guys. These guys don't come to you as finished products. That's another component of coaching that I embrace, and we collectively embrace. It's the reason why we make what we make, and there's so many of us because these guys are less than finished products in most instances when we get them. And so there's a growth and development that has to take place. You guys are witnessing growth and development in Deontay Johnson, not only in quality of play and skills relative to his position, but in maturity. He's a year older than Chase, and that's going on all around us. We're seeing the pains of growth and development sometimes when young people have to participate. You see inconsistencies in Presley Harvin's performance. We've had less than ideal plays from Pat Freiermuth, but we know that we're pouring into something in all of those guys. And although there's some short-term negativity associated with the pain and discomfort of that they go through in terms of growing and learning, and oftentimes it's negative, we know to benefit individually and collectively of staying on task and them getting that expertise and experience. And it's reasonable to expect that some of those hiccups to disappear and some quicker than others. This is incredible because, again, I've seen Urban Meyer come out and call out his head coaches. He's known for calling out his head coaches. And when you just contrast horrible coaching to a head coach that has retained his job for a bit over a decade to a head coach that has made 2 Super Bowls and won one of them, then it kind of is obvious and glaring what the difference truly is. And this is why Mike Tomlin has been at his position for so long, because he's a very patient and understanding head coach and doesn't expect his players to be mature right away. Now, again, that could kind of be a contrast from what Bill Belichick is willing to deal with, but you also have to understand the personalities that Mike Tomlin had to deal with in his career, from Le'Veon Bell to Antonio Brown to Ben Roethlisberger. So I know Mike Tomlin gets a lot of hate, and if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan that always wonders, why does this man still have a job despite his teams not performing in the playoffs? Instances like this is why. He's able to take very volatile talent that is sometimes immature and try to form them into legitimate stars of the NFL. If you're a Steelers fan, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.